Hey guys, Ike here from Mike'sOutdoors.com. Today we're here to do a bow review on the Obsession FXL. Okay, so specs on this bow. This is a 6.5-inch brace type bow. IBO rating on this is 350 feet per second. The axle to axle on this is 34.5, so you got a good long, stable axle to axle, good long riser on this thing, and a good long or a shorter brace height in 6.5 to get those 350 feet per second speeds that we're getting out of this thing. This is available in 40, 50, 60, 65, 70, and 80 pounds. Now this has a draw specific cam on this, and this is available in 26 to 31.5 inches. So you guys that have a little bit longer draw length, that are having a hard time finding a bow, this is available in a 31.5 inch draw. Half sizes goes 26.5 to 31.5. Bow weight is 4.6 pounds bare. Of course, it's going to weigh more when you get your accessories on this. Let off on this bow is something that is pretty radical considering how these bows work. This is let off. This has a let off available of up to 90%. So that is pretty amazing. This has the OB Trax cam on here, which is a 2-track binary cam system with an adjustable draw stop on here. The draw stop is a limb stop, so it rotates around and hits your limb. And as far as color goes, you can see I have the orange riser on mine, and I have the Veil camo limbs on here, and I have black cams and just solid orange strings. There are too many colors for me to run through on this, but this is available in a wide variety of combinations as far as solid color risers, camo risers, solid colored limbs, camo limbs, solid the cams are available in black, orange, a bunch of different colors on those, and a bunch of different options on the string colors as well. Strings are the America's Best bow strings. You got a couple dampeners on here. You've got a sight for a rear mounted stabilizer on here. These are Axion vibration dampeners. You got a really nice string stop on here, and you've got a really cool cable slide system on here as well that rotates back in toward the middle of the bow as you draw this thing back. That is called the torqueless angled cable rod. It also has a torqueless grip on here as well. That's what they call it anyway. You're shooting right off the riser, and you have a couple of side plates on here which look really cool, really nice. It has a really good grip on here. The grip has got a nice rounded shape to it, nice slim profile to it, and really sets well in your hand. Okay, this has the FX limb pockets on here, so you got a limb pocket setting right here that secures your limbs in there nice and solid, and you have another secondary system back here on the back side of the riser that allows them to stay in track. This is a nice, solid, proven design on limb pockets that is going to keep those in track and keep those in position, and will not allow them to move around, and will cause it to be a more accurate, better shooting. Okay, so this is the FX riser design, and I really like this design. It's got a good solid design to it. It's got like a bridge system on here. It's got a wide pocket stance up on the top. Overall, very eye appealing. Looks fantastic. The finish on this is flawless. Looks perfect, and going to provide a really nice, really solid shooting platform for this FX bow. So let's take this thing over, see if we can get close to that 350 feet per second IBO rating on this thing, and then let's do some shooting with this thing. Now keep in mind, when we're doing the speed test on this, we're going to be shooting a variety of arrows like we always do. This bow is going to be set at 70 pounds, 27.5 inch draw, so that 350 feet per second rating is going to be hard we're not going to be able to get it with this 27.5 inch draw. We'll see what we can get to. We'll do some math here and figure out what we should be able to get, and go from there on the speed tests, and then we'll do a little bit of shooting with this as well. So first arrow here is 350 grain. .307. Next one here is our hunting arrow, or my hunting arrow, 425 grain. .275. Last one here is our 525 grain. I'm sorry, 518 grain arrow. .260. Okay, so as far as speed goes, we're getting about 10 feet per second less than what the IBO rating on this bow is. So that's kind of disappointing. Overall, this bow shoots really, really good, and it feels like it shoots really fast. I was actually really surprised by those numbers. I thought it was going to be really close to that 315 to 317, 318 feet per second rating. So it fell a little bit short of that, but overall it puts out pretty good speeds. You know, the 274 feet per second that I was getting out of my hunting arrow is pretty high for that hunting arrow, considering what I normally get out of most bows I shoot. I normally in the 250 to 260 range. So the kinetic energy that it's putting out for my hunting arrow is upwards of 70 foot-pounds, and so it's going to be a really good hard-hitting bow, even though it fell short of that IBO speed rating. The bow, we're going to shoot it here a little bit, but in my shooting, there's not much about this bow that I have to complain about. It shoots fantastic, and I love the specs on this bow. The longer axle to axle and a shorter brace height provides you with a good, stable shooting platform, and it also provides you with some good speeds. Like I said, my normal bow is a 7-inch brace height bow, you know, 33, 34 inch axle to axle. This one having a ½ inch shorter has got me up from about 354 to 360 foot-pounds or feet per second up to about 274. So putting out quite a bit more of kinetic energy and momentum with this setup and with this bow. So shoots great, and the more importantly, it shoots really accurate. That longer axle to axle and shorter brace height is just a winning combination for me. It shoots fantastic. The grip on this bow is really, really good, really comfortable, settles into your hand. You don't have to readjust or anything like that. It really settles into your hand. Nice. Draw cycle is good. It is really nice and smooth. Back wall is super solid with this thing. I've got it set at 70 pounds. You can see I've got it completely maxed out. So we have it set at 70 pounds for this shoot, and you'll see I don't have any kind of struggle with this, and I've still got I've got to swap arrows out. I've still got my arrows from the speed rating on here. The one complaint that I did have about this bow is I actually had to go get a tap and tap these two holes right here, because, not because the threads were messed up, but because it had so much of this finish in there, and that finish was just really, really tough. I thought I might be able to just put the screw in there and kind of work it back and forth and get it to eventually loosen up, but I could not. So I actually had to get a tap and tap both of those holes right there just to clean out all of that. I don't want to call it paint, because I'm sure it's not paint, but this powder coat or this material that they use to coat this riser. The rest of the holes were fine, but these two holes right here had quite a bit of buildup in them. So that's my biggest complaint so far. That and the speed being slower than what it was advertised to be. But we're going to grab some other arrows here and do a little bit of shooting with this thing. Okay, we're going to shoot a couple rounds here with this thing because I've only got 3 of my hunting arrows left. I've got to refletch some arrows, and I actually busted a knock on one while I was doing our speed test. But you're going to notice this is our same setup we were doing a speed test with that 425 grain hunting arrow. That's what this bow is tuned to. Zero problems tuning this bow. This bow is broadhead tuned. It is ready to go hunt, and I had 0 issues with this thing as far as tuning. Like I said, the grip is really nice, really comfortable grip. You can see on a draw cycle, even at 70 pounds, just butter smooth. Dumps off a little bit there at the end and rotates around pretty fast. So back wall, rock solid. I mean, absolutely rock solid. Pin float is next to nothing. And you can see there on the shot, super quiet, no big kick, no vibration, just absolutely rock solid on the shot and rock solid while you're at full draw. The pin float on this thing, you can see I have no stabilizer on here. The pin float on this thing is next to nothing, and we're shooting at 20 yards, and it is just, I mean, that pin float is super, super solid. So draw cycle on this thing, like I said, it builds up nice and slow, and it dumps off just in the last 4 to 5 inches. Just kind of dumps off a little bit, and it's not a harsh dump off. It's not a, you know, grating dump off. You're not pulling through it like some of the cams, really speedboat cams out there have that big drop. This one has a really nice smooth transition into that drop. drops off right about there. So I'd say within the last maybe 2 to 3 inches. As far as creep goes with this bow, you can see it's got so much let off. I mean, I'm completely relaxed right now. It just absolutely does not want to take off out of your hand. It is fantastic to hold at full draw, and you can hold it for a long, long period of time. For a hunting bow, this is going to be outstanding. I mean, you can absolutely sit here and hold this thing for a long, long time. So you can see there, with that let off, it is really nice to hold at full draw. It has got a good solid back wall to it, does not want to take off on you, doesn't want to rip out of your hand or anything like that. And the bow is really solid at that too, as far as like the pin float and wanting to move around on the target. You can see there, other than the little kick from me pushing and pulling with this back tension release, absolutely no kick to it. Vibration is very, very minimal and absolutely super quiet too. Of course, we shoot a 425 grain hunting arrow, but even that, I'll grab that 350 grain arrow too, and we'll shoot it out of it this round to show you guys how loud it is when you get down to that bare minimum weight that you can actually shoot. And one thing I love about this bow is the accuracy. I'm putting up at 20 yards, I'm putting up about a 1.5 inch group with this thing, so pretty consistent as far as the accuracy goes, and I really like that for a bow that is putting out good speeds. Now this is our 350 grain test arrow, so we'll see how loud this thing is and how the vibration is with this lighter weight arrow. You can see I can hear just a little bit more noise. Vibration wasn't much more at all with that lightweight arrow, though I did hear a little bit more noise on the shot, but overall still was really quiet. This arrow has got a vein coming off of it. It's about time to go through and do some more flexing. Again, back to our 425 grain arrow. Absolutely quiet, smooth draw, great solid back wall on this thing too. Okay, so there it is. This is the Obsession FXL, and I am absolutely in love with this bow, the way it shoots. I'm a little disappointed in the IBO speed rating. Had a little bit of problems with the bolt where your sight straps on here, and had to tap those, but other than that, it shoots really, really good. It has an amazing draw cycle to it, really solid back wall, really comfortable, and I love the specs on this bow. The longer axle to axle with that shorter brace sight bow makes it for an absolutely fantastic specs on this bow. I should mention too, on the America's Best Bowstrings, no creep at all on these strings. These strings have been absolutely fantastic on this bow. Now, I've had a lot of guys ask me about bows like this that I've owned in the past as far as hunting with them. I absolutely will hunt with a bow that's this color. I've hunted with a lot of solid color bows and a lot of bows that have some brightness to them, like this orange. I love the combination of orange and black. I'm a big time Oklahoma State fan, so I know I'm going to take some guff in the comment section about that, but that's okay. I love the orange and black combination, and I absolutely will hunt with a bow like this. One, orange is found in the woods in the fall. The other thing is deer have a hard time seeing some of these colors like orange and pink and things like that. That's why during rifle season you can use blaze orange and get away with it without the deer seeing you, you know, sometimes. But so absolutely no problems for me hunting with a bow that is this color or any other kind of solid colors that they offer with these things. So if you're looking for a bow that they got this classified as a hunting bow, but I think you could do a little bit of everything with it. So if you like these colors, but you want this bow to be a strictly hunting bow, I wouldn't be afraid to pull the trigger on one that has a solid color on it, because I've killed deer with orange bows just like this in the past. So This is the Obsession FXL, an absolutely fantastic bow to shoot. Great hunting bow, and just going to be a good overall, good round bow to do just about anything with. Just good quality to it, good craftsmanship behind it, and fun bow to shoot. So check this out. We'll put a link directly below to Obsession's website, and have a good lineup of the FX bows this year that have the specs are just amazing. What they have to choose from. When I was picking out the Obsession bow that I wanted to test this year, I had a really hard time picking because they have such a wide variety of specs available in this FX line. So check this out. We'll put the link right down in the description below to Obsession's website, and go give them a look and see what you think of the new Obsession bows. I think this FXL is fantastic and absolutely a blast to shoot. So be sure to like, subscribe, and share these videos. Please be sure to follow us on social media as well. We're there under Ike's Outdoors. Appreciate you guys watching.